Do you have goals and objectives as a basketball official? Do you want to move from simply working middle school games to working high school games? Do you want to move from JV to varsity games? Do you want to move from the lower level varsity to higher level varsity, the big games, the big stage? Do you want to get the playoffs, high school playoffs, section playoffs, state final, state playoffs? Is that for you? You want to move up to the next level, right? Officiate collegiately, JUCO, D3. You have higher aspirations. You want to go D1. Oh, listen now. G League is, you want to go G League? You want to go NBA? Fantastic. It's all there. It's all available to you. You've got to elevate your game, though. You have got to begin the process of improving your game through game video analysis. Today, we're going to get started with just a brief primer on how to get started with game video analysis. And we're going to do that now. Stick around. Greetings, everybody. It's Greg Austin with A Better Official. We craft video to help basketball officials get better and take control of their officiating career. Much thanks to Brian and Kent for inviting me to speak with you today. Unfortunately, my game schedule doesn't allow me to make this presentation live, so I've put it on video, as we like to do. And I'll be on the call a little later after the video to answer any questions. I will be able to join you live to answer any questions you might have. Now, today we are going to have a brief primer on getting started with game video analysis. If we compare it to an automobile, right? What are the basic functions that we need from an automobile, right? We need it to start. We need it to go. We need it to stop. We need it to be able to steer and maneuver, and we need it to be able to respond to various conditions: daylight, nighttime, hot weather, cold weather, raining, snowing in Wisconsin, right? It has to be flexible in that way. In the same way, we're looking at our fundamentals and habits as basketball officials, and we want the same things. We want the basics, right? The ability to position ourselves on the court to officiate the game. Understand the system of the mechanic system that we are working so that we have responsibilities about who is officiating what, right? This is a critical component. Understanding those basics, positioning ourselves as the on-ball official to have an open look on a play, be able to stay with the shooter up, down, and beyond. Critical to our success, a basic fundamental. When we are off ball, officiating the players in our primary coverage area. 10 players, small area, moving rapidly, the ability to adjust, to make position adjustments, to see the players and to see the game. These are fundamentals. In three-person mechanics, of course, we need to be aware of changing conditions. Right? There's rotation involved. What are our habits and fundamentals? Responding to a rotation, initiating a rotation, and being flexible in now recognizing what we are officiating in the game. It's changing all the time, and having that flexibility is critical. So just like a car, there are basic functions and things that we need from it. We need that in our game. We need our game to have the fundamentals in place. When we analyze our game video, we're focused on habits and fundamentals, critical. And we really want to refine those and get those to be a solid component of our game, because this is the foundation that we're building here, right? We're going to build polish. Just like that car is going to have the navigation system and the latest technology, for steering, and the lights move and do all sorts of sexy things. This is polish on top. These are features that we'll build into our game later. But we need the solid bedrock of foundational principles. And that's what we're looking at today, is we're just looking at the habits and fundamentals in the most basic form. And that's a way to get started with our game video analysis. All right, let's analyze some game video. We've got 5 plays. Let's get started with play number 1. On clip number 1 here, we are looking at fundamentals and habits as trail, right? Throw in play, 3-point try, rebounding, fast break situation. Fantastic. So let's look at just the fundamental, we're just looking at the results. And if I'm the trail on this play, what am I looking at that are positives and negatives? Right? We're in great position during the throw-in. Chop the ball in. The ball is in our primary, and we have to get from our throw-in position to officiate the play. And we move to a good position, a great distance to officiate the on-ball matchup, right? We have an open look on this play. But note that we are onto the court here, almost making contact with a player here, right? Great job of getting an open look, having great proximity to officiate that on-ball matchup. But we need to be, in this instance, more sideline oriented. Right? The player, just fundamentals and habits here. Fundamentals and habits. The player moves to his left. We should move to our right to maintain an open look on this play. This should be our habitual reaction to a player going right here. And then in the end, we end up with a player catching the ball on the wing. Here, the first reaction from the official is to step towards this play. Does that enhance our ability to officiate this play? So we had a habitual action of stepping towards the play, moth to a flame a little bit, but we do not have an open look on this play. In the end, we have a stacked look here. We do not have, was there elbow contact on this play? We don't know. We are too close and we have a bad angle. Now, the players' actions where they fake left, fake right, etc., will put pressure on us to get that open look. But in the end, the bottom line, we're just evaluating. My habits and fundamentals put me in a position where I did not have an open look on the play. That's just the bottom line. We're in great position for rebounding action, right? Stayed with the shooter, great habit, fundamental, ultimately moved to a position that appeared to give us the open look. And that's just something that it is what it is. And now we have a fast break situation. Great hustle, right? Really moves hard towards the end line. Now, what are we thinking in this position, right? We are the new lead in a fast break situation. We know that the trail is going to handle the on-ball action here. What are we thinking about officiating, right? First of all, maybe take a wider angle, sort of mirroring the ball as opposed to heading in. But what is our matchup that we need to officiate on this play? It's the next competitive matchup in our primary coverage area. This post player is coming down to set up. This is what we have to pick up. Are they held here, prevented from getting there, etc.? Do they ultimately set a screen, etc.? This is our matchup that we are looking at on this play, right? And so habits and fundamentals, when we make this transition move, do we come to the best possible position on the court, and are we officiating the right things in this instant? All right, that got us started. Let's look at play number 2. All right, working as center on this play, looking for habits and fundamentals. We have a rotation. Player goes to the basket. Try is missed, rebounding action. So, habits and fundamentals on this play. What are we looking at? If I'm the center official here, habits and fundamentals. Did I properly anticipate on this play the action that came? Does my body language suggest that I am officiating these players for this play that occurs and ends up in my primary coverage area? That's what we're looking at here. Now, if we are center on this play, what is our primary coverage area? Right? Something like this. What's going on in our primary coverage area right now? Not a whole heck of a lot. We've got a non-competitive matchup here. These two players leaving our primary coverage area. We've got a non-competitive matchup here. So what are we going to do? We're going to extend, right? Trail is officiating this matchup here. Lead is officiating this post action here, and we have off-ball action. So as center, we are going to naturally extend our coverage in this situation. Be aware, we're ball aware. We know that the ball is right here, and we are ready. And when the ball is in flight, in this instance, and in all instances like this, we expect that we are going to anticipate that and position adjust so that we can pick up the defender. In a perfect world, we're going to pick up the defender on the catch. Ball is caught, we know where the defender is. Right? We have an open look on the play. We know that the ball has settled in the center's primary. What do we expect? We expect a rotation on the play. What does that mean for us in our positioning on the court? I know I am the center official. I have this letter over my head. I'm officiating this matchup. Where is the best place on the court to officiate this matchup? It's really straightforward. I have the perfect look on this play. I know that my lead will be rotating, and I will change identities, and now I will be the trail official. How does that affect my positioning on the court in this instance? It should have zero effect. I have the look that I need on this play. Stay with that look. Don't be in a hurry to come out of that look. The open look is the most important thing we can have in this instance. Visible count, and the ball goes away. Now the ball is at the top of the key. Where would I want to be to officiate possible swipe down by this player here? Where would I want to be, right? I may want to position adjust just a hint here so that I can have what? An open look on the play. But wait a minute. I'm the trail. I have to go here. I have to go to the 28-foot line. I have to disconnect. No. I'm where I need to be to officiate the play. I know that I'm trail. When it's appropriate, I will release back out from the center position or from a low trail position as we have on this play. And there's our instance where we can do that, right? The ball has gone away. We relax out, but we don't go too far, right? You'll see it time and time again. Official knows their trail, and they will go to an extreme position, the 38-foot line or something like that, right? We're a little high here. Here's our 28-foot line here. A little higher than I'd want to be, but what do we end up with? Our fundamentals, right? 45-degree shoulders, open to the players on the court. What does the trail have in their primary on this play? 0. Big picture officiating. I need to be aware of clocks. We've got a shot clock here in California. You'll be having one soon. Don't you worry in Wisconsin. End up with the ball in our trail's primary and a play to the basket. Now, who is officiating this defender on this play and who's officiating the on-ball matchup, right? This is a negotiation point here. I would expect on this play that the lead is going to have the primary defender on this play. It's coming from the trail's primary. The defender has come from the lead's primary. This is a play you can discuss and you can pregame. So who's officiating this player, right? These are the things that we need to pick up. And if the trail picks that up, no call on this play, but our trail needs to have an opinion on this play for sure. And I would want our center to have an opinion as well. What's going on in the center's primary? Very little there. But we have no call on this play. But these are the things that we're analyzing when we analyze our game video. So let's just review here real quick what we're looking at. We're positioned at center, home base, perfect position. Free throw line extended. What's in the center's primary? Very little. The player moves into their primary and we position adjust to have an open look on the catch. We have an open look on this play. We anticipate a rotation, and yet it does not change our positioning on the court. The ball goes away, and when the opportunity is there, we move to the trail position, home base of 28 foot. We're a little high as trail here, right? We're looking at that, step down, and now we're in a better position. We've got a play to the basket in our primary, a secondary defender play. We stay engaged until the rebound, and then we hustle to the end for the next play. These are just the basics that we're looking at when we analyze our game video. And it's just results. It's just results. I wish I was a little bit more this and a little bit more that, but here's the evidence. This is where we stand. This is where we're at. Here's play 3. Let's go. All right. So again, work at center and, just following up on the previous play. If we're working at center on this play, what is in the center's primary coverage area? In this instance, very little. But what we do have is if we are actually officiating the players in our primary coverage area, we are ball aware. We know that the ball is across the court, but we're officiating the players in our primary coverage area. If you just watch the actions of this player here, green 33, what is he telling us to do as an official on this play? He raises his hand and then shifts out, and his body language tells us what's going to happen, right? At this point, we want to have an open look on the play. Didn't really anticipate the ball in flight, but we end up with the open look. What is the habitual action of the official here? The habitual action, and you will see this again and again and again, is the official has a habitual action where they want to get to a different position on the play, either because they think, oh, I'm going to become the trail here, or for some other reason. But what do we end up with? We end up with the worst possible situation, which is absolutely no look at all on this play, and there's no help coming from any of our partners if we have a foul on this play. So we identify in our game video a habitual action. I need to fix that habitual action. I need to revel in the fact that I previously had the open look on the play, and our movement here should actually be in an effort to improve the look. How could we improve our look from here? We're not going to improve our look with any sort of motion in this direction. Just the opposite. If we take a step to our left here, it'll enhance our look here and our ability to see the defender. We have to be willing to work low on potential shooters so that we can get the open look. It's the most important thing. Identify habitual actions in your game that either enhance your ability to do that or detract from your ability to do that. Play number 4. Throw in to start the second half, working his trail. Ball goes into the center's primary coverage area. Rotation. Drive to the basket. Chaos ensues. That's a fun play. A lot of chaos going on there. All right, throw in. Our positioning, right? So we see we have a division line throw in opposite the table to start the third period here. We have 6 players here for the trail to officiate. We'd want our center official to be more active on this play and have better position, possibly here, to help officiate across here. But in the end, our throw-in is successful into the backcourt. And again, we're looking for habits and fundamentals. When the ball is caught here in the center's primary, what do we want to do as trail? What do we want our habitual action to be? We need to officiate elsewhere. This now belongs to the center official. The center official has an open look on this play. If we are aware of our partners, right, We are aware that they are officiating the play. Moment that happens, we need to officiate elsewhere. Now, we need to be aware of this action that has just ended, but we need to find additional action to officiate. So we would expect in this instance that our official is going to turn and officiate something else, and we expect the movement of their body to be in this direction as well. We should step down and officiate elsewhere on this play. Do we achieve that? Yes, right? So now we are officiating away. And we can, when we do this, when we officiate players away here in this direction, what do we see? We see the rotation is occurring. We have an open look on a play from the center position that we wouldn't have otherwise. We've got this primary defender on this play. We know that there's a secondary defender who we would expect to be picked up by the lead here because we are working the three-person system. And then chaos ensues, right? We want to be aware in this instance of, is there any change of team of possession? Because in California, we have shot clocks. And things like that. Aware of timeout requests as the center here. If we had a request made when there was player control on the court. But in the end, an important thing to notice here as well is our two officials who close down, right? So we want habits and fundamentals as a crew. Ball on the floor, two officials come in. One official stays back, right? Recognizing I don't need to come in there as center across the court. The other officials will take care of that. I can see any players coming off benches, etc. Habits and fundamentals keep that distance. These two officials come in to the players on the floor and they keep their focus on those players. There's no turning around. Hey, who has the possession arrow, etc. Right? So great habits and fundamentals displayed on this play. And those are the habits and fundamentals we want, right? Our trail stays focused. We can always look to the center official who is looking at the table to mirror what is the arrow on the table. Now, we just had a division line throw in to start the period, so everybody knows, but we want habits and fundamentals that are solid. All right, our final play today, play number 5. Let's go. All right, again, working as center. Boy, we're getting ourselves into a pickle here. But it resolves out. So, center in the front court. The ball comes into the center's primary. How are we going to communicate as a crew about how we're going to officiate this play? Trail has this on-ball matchup, but it's coming into the center's primary. How are we going to use nonverbal communication to say, how are we going to handle this play, right? So the center takes a step in this direction. What does that indicate to the trail? Hey, my partner has picked up this play. Center has an open look on the play. We would expect our trail to officiate away and step down. And now we are in a pickle, right? We weren't able in this instance to anticipate this player's arrival on the scene, and they sort of surprise us. And we are sort of stuck here in a weak position to officiate this play. Where would we want to be to officiate this play? We'd want to be on top of it. but we are in a weak position, but we have to sort it out and figure out what to do next. And in the end, the play goes and we get that open look that we desire on the play, right? We're judging for contact here. Player works through, right? Ultimately, our trail did move down. We have a rotation on the play. That's the other thing that we have to be aware of here as center. When we are here, we know that we are going to become trail. We anticipate a rotation. But we still stay with our look. Whatever we have, we're fighting for it. It's not the greatest look. We'd want to have a better look maybe, but we're fighting for the look. We know that we're the trail, okay? But we want to keep the open look on plays. And then we can relax out, right? Still staying with that ball handler that came out of our primary coverage area. And ultimately, we end up in a not ideal position as trail, right? We have flexed out a little too high. We don't have the look that we would want. Where would we want to be to officiate this play? Maybe here, right? We need to see the feet. Obviously, there's no defender, so we're not in a bad position game-wise. Mark the 3, rebounding is obviously collected, and off we go. All right, so we've had 5 plays. We've broken them down. We've looked at all the things, open look officiating. Again, this is how we go about analyzing our game video. We want call validation. We want to see whether we got the play right or wrong. But initially, what we need to do is look at our habits and fundamentals. If we improve our habits and fundamentals, we will fundamentally be in a better position to officiate the game. And then we can start building in the polish that we want in our game and work on other aspects. But step number 1, habits and fundamentals. Today, we've had a brief introduction to that. I hope you found value. I look forward to taking any questions you might have, and I genuinely appreciate Brian and Kent reaching out to me so that we can all get better together.